So I just thought I'd give my thoughts and review on the recent Premier League matches that have been happening. So we're going to start off with the Liverpool versus Tottenham game. Now this one ended up in a 1-1 draw, and this is not a result that favours Tottenham, as they're going to view this as points dropped in their race for the title, also in their race to sort of ensure they secure a finish above Arsenal. Now the goals in this game came initially from Coutinho for Liverpool, and then Harry Kane equalised with a really good turn and finish for Tottenham. Now this means that Leicester increased their lead at the top of the table, and with Arsenal rediscovering a little bit of killer instinct, this will be a bit worrying for Spurs. Spurs did seem to control the game more than Liverpool did, but they did manage fewer shots on target than Liverpool did. Now Spurs also have a really tricky time coming up with their next match, which is at home to Manchester United. Now that next game is going to be a real must-win for them if they want to keep in touch with Leicester and keep Arsenal at arm's length. So the next game we're going to look at, West Ham Crystal Palace. Now this was a 2-2 draw, quite an exciting game really, but overall a harsh result on West Ham after Chiarte was sent off for a challenge which I don't think it was a red card. I don't think anyone really thinks it was a red card. Now West Ham are still chasing a Champions League slot, and this was a real dent in their plans, as they would have expected. They probably would have expected to gain a win over Crystal Palace. The goals in this game came from Lanzini and Payet for West Ham. Another great goal for Payet, aren't they all? And Delaney and Gale for Palace. Now with City and United both winning, this means this is going to make Champions League qualification much tougher for West Ham, and it leaves them in 6th place, 2 points behind United, who now leapfrog them into 5th. It's going to be a tough run-in for them, but who knows, they've been pretty impressive so far. Hopefully they'll continue. The next game I'm going to move on to is Bournemouth versus Man City. Now this was a 4-0 win for City, who really stuck it to Bournemouth, and it was a win they really badly needed. They've been really poor recently. De Bruyne really underlined how important he is for City, and he just seemed to be involved in everything, including getting himself on the score sheet. Now City managed to get themselves 3-0 up in the first 18 minutes thanks to Fernando, as I said, De Bruyne and Aguero, and then from that point on they just seemed to be happy to just cruise the game a little bit and get their 4th late on through Kolarov. It's an important win for City, as Arsenal also had a big win, and it means they pull away from West Ham and Man United, with Man United just a point below them. So as I mentioned, the Arsenal game, we're going to move on to Arsenal in the previous one. We're going to move on to Arsenal now. Now they managed to return them to form with a real thumping 4-0 win. Now, this is exactly the result they would need. They got Alex Iwobi on the score sheet again. He's been really impressive in his recent outings. You had Bellerin, Sanchez and Walcott also getting on the score sheet. It's good to see so many players getting goals. It's really important for Arsenal as they look to mount a tough Premier League title challenge. They're still in with a shout, but it's going to be tough for them. These are the kind of results they need. Now, it puts them 4 points behind Tottenham, albeit they do have a game in hand. Now, Arsenal were really dominant throughout, and they restricted Watford to only 2 shots on target throughout the whole game, compared to the 12 they received. Now, those are the kind of stats they're going to need to continue if they want to win this. Next up, we're going to move on to Man U versus Everton. This finished 1-0 for Man U, and this was an important and tricky win for United, although they weren't really that comfortable in this game. Martial got the only goal of the game, and the younger generation really stepped up to the plate here, showed the more established players how it's supposed to be done, and I don't know if that's worrying or good. I mean, potentially worrying for now, good for the future. United, again, though, they didn't manage to score in the first half. It's now 10 games where they have failed to register a goal in the first half. Not really good. United also only managed 2 shots on target all game. You could also make the argument they only needed one of them apparently, but they're going to need to improve their shot count. They are in 5th place, but they've got a tough match against Tottenham next week. If they want to win that, they need to get their shots on target. They need to improve their goal scoring form, as the goals have really dried up for United. Finally, we're going to talk about Leicester versus Southampton. Now, this was another tough defensive display from Leicester, and it ended up in a 1-0 win for them. The result moves them 7 points clear of the top of the table after Spurs could only draw with Liverpool. It was a bit of a kind of cagey game. It wasn't really an exciting game, and Wes Morgan got the goal for them in the first half. And generally speaking, it was a really, really close game. this again was a real display of defensive quality. Southampton really dominated possession in the second half, but Leicester would not let them through. So this is we're getting really into the title run-in now, and it's going to be quite a close-knit thing. If I'm brutally honest, I think Leicester have managed to carve themselves out enough of a lead that they're not gonna fold at this point. However, it's not the easiest of run-ins for them, and they are struggling for goals a little bit at the moment. Tottenham, again, they've got another tricky run-in. In fact, actually, many of the top three have all got tricky run-ins. Arsenal have got to go and play West Ham. Not the easiest game. I mean, I think they should take it, but this is going to be an interesting title run-in. I genuinely don't know how this is going to turn. I think Leicester are going to win it. Second, I don't know at the moment. I really don't. Tottenham have the positioning, but I don't know. Then I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But all I can say is it's going to be bloody exciting when it happens. Thanks a lot, guys. I'd love to hear what everyone else thinks about this. Stick your name down, stick your comment down. Hope to hear from everyone soon.